What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to another video, man. So look, in this video we're gonna be talking about why pre-merger legends like Bill Russell, Wilt Chamberlain, they shouldn't even be in the GOAT debate. We always hear Bill Russell and Wilt Chamberlain thrown into the GOAT conversation, but let's be real. Were they really competing in the same game as Jordan, LeBron, Kobe? So today, man, we gonna break down why pre-merger dominance just doesn't hold the same weight in the modern GOAT debate. So if you're new to the channel, man, you might want to subscribe, man. To those of you that are subscribed and y'all returning back, to check out the channel and check out the video, I definitely appreciate it. Without further ado, let's get into it, man. So different era, different competition. In Russell and Wilt's era, the league only had 8 to 14 teams compared to that today, where the NBA got 30 teams. You know what I'm saying? Then we gotta definitely factor in that many teams were not fully integrated racially, you know what I'm saying, or competitively wasn't integrated yet. Majority of the players were not full-time athletes. Some had off-season jobs, man. They wasn't even getting their nutrition together, they training. The analytics wasn't involved in the game. Hell, they ain't have a three-point line. You know what I'm saying? When you dominate an era where most teams didn't even have a full-time athletic staff, is that really comparable to today, man? Like, keep it a buck. The teams are not even, the players are not even taking care of themselves and working on their craft in the off season, bro. They just going out there, something to do, like playing rec league ball or something on Sundays. Think about that, man. This is the league that the Wilts and Russells dominated in. So the NBA and the ABA merged in 1976. All right. So obviously this brings in, tougher competition and, makes the league more athletic. Before the merger, the talent pool was extremely limited, obviously, and only certain, colleges and regions, could, I guess, be involved in the talent pool. So I mean, it wasn't like today where you can get drafted from anywhere. You know what I'm saying? It was a select pool of talent that they would pull from. Post merger, the league became global. Athleticism went through the damn roof. Like today, these kids doing all kind of stuff, and defense evolved drastically. You got more athletes in the league. You have that talent now is all in the league together. The Dr. J's and all of them, man. The Icemans and all of them. They all in the league now. They all in the NBA. So my question is, can you be the greatest of all time even though you never competed against all the best players of your time? Can you even be in that debate if you've never competed against the best players in your time? So that's a question. I want y'all to answer that down below in the comment section. We all hear about Bill Russell's illustrious 11 rings, and he's the king of the rings, and how impressive that is. But dog, he only had 8 teams in the NBA. You only playing against 8 teams. Like, and we'll take that over Kobe, right? Y'all want to kick Kobe out of the conversation and have him outside of the top 10. Dude, they even had fewer playoff rounds than today's NBA. The league was different. And then you think about like Wilt stats, right? Insane, crazy stats when you look at it on paper. But you gotta factor in the fact that a lot of that shit that he was doing came in a losing effort. And then the dudes that he was doing it against was about 6'6", man. He wasn't playing against no real athletes, bruh. They was about 6'6". They about 6'6". So yeah, you dominant. You dominant. You dig? You ain't playing against no comp. And yeah, rings matter, but rings in the league that's barely professional can't be weighed the same. Like you winning against niggas who they don't work out. They got other professions. Like think about the WNBA today, right? And you always hear the WNBA players talking about, how their salary isn't what supports their lifestyle. They got to do other things. They got to get other jobs. You know what I'm saying? So you can't possibly have the opportunity to work on your craft like an NBA player who is getting paid a large enough amount of money to go and do that full time. That's their job. So the league wasn't nowhere comparable professionally to the NBA today. Now, I gotta say, this is not to disrespect the pioneers who laid the foundation, man. They're foundational figures to the NBA. But the game evolved drastically. You can respect history without pretending it competes with the modern product, dog. Like, to talk about Bill Russell and Wilt Chamberlain in this type of debate, basically you're ignoring the facts that they can't compete with the modern product, bro. You know what I'm saying? That there's a reason why Babe Ruth isn't considered the greatest baseball player anymore. It's for that reason. Great for a time, but greatest of all time in that conversation is tough. It's tough, man. There's a difference between being historically important and being the greatest to ever do it. It's a much different conversation, man. Russell and Wilt, you got to give them credit. They were giants in their time, literally. Because the center was 6'6". So they were literal giants in their time. But then, man, time moved on, man. The game evolved. Things changed. The GOAT conversation should be for players who thrived under modern pressure, athleticism, and global competition. Think about, man, they playing all over the world, man. You know what I'm saying? International talent coming into the NBA now. The talent pool has become global. They're not just getting drafted from certain colleges or, certain regions. Like, nah, it's a global game now. So while we want to honor the past, we got to keep the GOAT debate in the present, dog. That they in a different category, man. They're in a different category. You can't include them in this conversation right here, bro. But anyway, that's my thoughts on this, man. Y'all let me know what y'all thoughts are on this topic. And yeah, let's get the conversation started down below in the comment section. And I'll see y'all on the next video. Peace.